Are you ready? Let's go!
Don't you sometimes just want to talk about everything? You know, there's days when you can just talk about anything. Need to sit back and chat about nothing at all? Nothing But Julie, coming at you with fun and creative topics and interviews.
Did you hear Julie's podcast? She's got the greatest topics.
Come join the chat about everything, anything, and nothing. So unwind and tune in to Nothing But Julie. Great topics and cool interviews with some pretty awesome people. And now, without further delay, here's Nothing But Julie.
Hello, everybody. It is Julie Schrager, your host of Nothing But Julie podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I was diagnosed a few years ago with something called cervical radiculopathy, which is basically a pinched nerve in the neck. But let me tell you what a pain in the neck it is. Ever since I was diagnosed, I have had like a few flare-ups. And let me tell you, they have been painful. And they've lasted upwards of maybe a week to 10 days. Well, I am in the midst of a flare-up right now, and I have not slept in 8 days or 8 nights. And I am exhausted, and I'm in a lot of pain. And I've had to cancel taking care of some doggies because of it, and it's making me crazy, and I'm frustrated and I'm angry, and I just want the pain to go away, and I question everything I'm doing. And you know, if I don't get surgery, then for the rest of my life I'm gonna have to worry about doing this or doing that. And if I want to lift weights, you know, should I be I know what happened to cause this, and it's my own fault, but I honestly didn't realize at the time what I had done. And it seems as though every time I want to be physically active or do things to, add to my workout regime, it always screws me up. And I know other people that have this issue that are living with the pain. And so it started making me think, you know, what can I discuss from my Monday mission? And I thought, oh my God, I can talk about pain management, and working through the pain. And I thought, you know, working through the pain is probably something that we can all agree on that we have probably done at least once in our lives. You know, let's say you hurt your ankle, and I don't know, and you have to go to work and you have to be on your feet all day. You have to work through the pain. So, you know, what can you do when you literally are in the midst of having pain, but you have to still live your life? What are the things that, you know, you can do? Well, I think that you have to kind of do what I'm doing, which is if you have to work, maybe you can modify your work where you are still able to do most of it, but there could be some form of modification. Unfortunately for me, my job is walking dogs and playing with dogs and feeding them, and there's a lot of twisting and bending and physicality involved in it. So unfortunately for me, my doctor told me, nope, you cannot do that. You need to rest. And I'm like, I'm not going to just sit on the couch and rest. But he did say to me, the one thing I can do is walk. Not walk a dog, even if the dog is small, because it's still having to turn my head constantly, you know, pick up poop. I hate to say that. You know, it involves a lot of neck movements versus just walking a straight arrow, which is actually a good thing you can do for your neck because it's exercise. And it gets the blood flowing and things like that. But the question remains, how do you work through it? How do you get by day in and day out when you're in pain, waiting for the pain to go away? Well, I guess the one thing is to not have a negative outlook, which is what I seem to be having right now. Questioning everything, going to the same websites, thinking I'm never going to find relief when I know I will, thinking surgery is the only option when it isn't. But working through the pain is something I think that we can all do, because when you're working through the pain, you're kind of taking your mind off of it. And for me, working through the pain is really about, still doing things that need to be done, but picking and choosing those things and really not pushing myself because I need to get better. So what is it that you do when you need to work through the pain, when you need to actually find a way to still do the things that you need to do, but in moderation or modification? There's always a way. I'm curious to know what your ways are. Well, anyway, wish me luck. I'm on week number 2 with this pain, and I am praying that it gets better each day. And it's not, but I'm hoping that it will. So anyway, my Monday mission, work through the pain.